let's start with this. Postbank and Sassa are quite adamant that glitches have been sorted out and all social grants have been paid. But after 21 days, some beneficiaries say their accounts are still empty. Now, officials are expected to give an update on the situation today. So let's get some clarity from our very own eNCA reporter, Hloni Mtimkulu, who is, of course, on the ground tracking these developments for us. And Hloni, a very warm good morning to you. So are the people there who are still, complaining, raising concerns about still not being paid?
Yeah, good morning, Dumelo. So we are at the Lenasia Post Office, which has been one of the hubs for the social grant payments for September, because the other post offices, a lot of the other post offices have been closed, and so this is where they come, and there aren't a lot that they can go to, but also retailers have told them to go to post banks, which operate inside post offices. So this has been one of the hubs here. The Shawela Post Office as well, around the sort of south of Johannesburg area, have been two of the big hubs. We were here just before the post office opened at 8:30. Recipients were already in a line, and specifically grant recipients, maybe about 20 or so, they were in a line and they were rushed into the post office, and then leaving others that were here for other things like license disc renewals outside. So we were able to speak to them a little bit just before they went inside, and there are people that have still not been paid. I know the Postbank statement on Tuesday said that all grant beneficiaries have been paid now, and they specifically said all grant beneficiaries have been paid. But I can tell you, unless people are not being honest with us in terms of what they are telling us, not everyone has been paid. And we spoke to an elderly lady who said she has still not been paid, and she said today is the 21st and I still have not been paid. Someone else, a younger person, so I presume then she was here for maybe her child grant, she said she has been to retailers, and then she was told to come to the post office. And again, Postbank said people really shouldn't be coming to the post office or Postbank necessarily. They should still be at retailers. But if people are telling us that they are being told elsewhere to come to post offices or to Postbank, then maybe there is something broken in the system or not quite working in the system, but that just isn't connecting with the system. Because as much as we're being told they shouldn't really be coming here, this is what people on the ground are being told. And I don't know if the post offices, the retailers, there's a disconnect, there's a miscommunication, but this is what people are telling us, and we have to believe that this what people are telling us is true, because no one wants to come here and wake up every morning, every second day, come here at 7 o'clock, at 8 o'clock to do this and borrow money and all of the things that we keep talking about, Dumelo.
Yeah, but also you can imagine that false promises breed false hope. When you are told over and over again, Hloni, that come tomorrow, try in 3 days' time, your money will be in, and then you come through, that definitely is quite a disappointment for those who desperately need this money. So for some context, what are also some of the challenges those who come there are currently faced with?
Yeah, so for example, here at the Lenasia Post Office, there aren't ablution facilities that the public can use. So if they are here and they're made to wait, like 2 days ago, people were made to wait from 8:30 when the post office opened, and they were only assisted after 10 o'clock. In that time, if you need to use the bathroom, you have to go around the corner. There's a KFC there. It charges R2, and that's what they use. So that's one of the issues, that they don't have ablution facilities. We had someone walk out now, and they were told that the system is offline. This wasn't for a grant. They said they were sorting out another issue. But, the fact that there's offline systems here, and so people either wait or they were told, okay, call this number and then we'll let you know. So you have to call a number. But you've come here and you've spent your day, you've set your day to say you're coming to the post office to sort out whatever issue you have. And now you can't because the system is offline. There are power cuts or electricity there's some electricity issue that people keep being told as well, that there's no electricity, and so our systems seemingly are not able to function properly. And then there's just the general kind of how they're handled by staff and what they're told and what they're not told. That was also a very big source of frustration, to say they're telling me that my grant is not available, but they're not giving me the reasons why, or they're not explaining to me what is going on. And we see formal communication, right, from the different parties involved, but people on the ground are not being given that message across to say this is why this is not happening. Seemingly the staff here don't understand what's going on as well. So it's a very frustrating time and a period. Of course, we know that people have had to borrow money, have had to come here every second or third day, have been told come back in 3 days' time, and then they don't know. There's no guarantee that the reason they're coming back in 3 days' time will be sorted at the time. So besides the fact that this technical glitch or whatever the system issue has caused the delays in the grant payments up until this point, there are other things around it that make the whole process challenging as well, Dumelo.
It's 21 days in exactly, Hloni, and still no payments and no money for some grant recipients. Yes, we've heard, the apology from the Deputy President, Paul Mashadile. We've heard about this constant recurring system glitch being so-called the cause of why some to this day have still not been paid. But it seems like other critics, Hloni, are alluding to the fact that there might be a bigger problem here, that perhaps even government is not 100% transparent about any, explanation so far, any developments, updates that we've heard, perhaps from even the Minister Lindiwe Zulu, besides, alluding to a system glitch. Have we received, communique about if whether they're currently conducting investigations, if it's a contractual issue, a supply issue? I don't know what the problem may be, but beyond just simply a system glitch.
Yeah, so right at the beginning of this, about 2 weeks ago, we had spoken to Sassa, and they had said that they would be invoking some sort of penalty or like a penalty clause in their agreement with Postbank, because clearly Postbank has not carried out their end of things or their end of the bargain. So we don't know how far that is, and perhaps at this briefing later on today, that needs to be addressed to say, well, what steps are you actually taking beyond just saying we are going to take action against Postbank? We admit that they have clearly not lived up to their end of things. But in terms of who is responsible, who, and who takes account for this, so far we've had none of that. We spoke last week to the Minister of Social Development, Minister Zulu, and she said for now they still need to investigate and find out what went wrong, and only then will they then decide who's responsible, and if anyone needs to be sanctioned for this, then that will happen then. But until then, until they fully understand what's going on, they can't say for sure. I mean, Postbank has said there's a system glitch. I don't know if that's enough to go on, but Postbank has admitted some issues. Sassa has said they will be taking issue, but the minister does say, wait, we'll have to wait. We know, of course, the issues around the Postbank board, and right now the CEO of Postbank is operating basically as herself with an administrator that is in place because the board has resigned. There were issues around suppliers that had not been paid initially, and all of that sort of thing. But we haven't heard anything concrete to say this has happened. We're now, I think it's now formally day 17, I think it is, since the 5th of September, when the first payroll for this would have run for September. And no one has said, this has happened, this is unacceptable, this person needs to step down, or this person needs to, some sort of sanction to say, or some sort of penalty to say, this has happened and this is not okay. There have been apologies, as you say as well. Last week we heard the apologies from all the stakeholders involved. But beyond that, there just has not been anything that suggests that any action will be taken. And also we heard last week that Postbank can't guarantee that this will not happen again, because it's IT systems and these things do happen. So where we're going after this, October's coming up. Some recipients were told, come back in October, then you'll get your money. So all of September, they have not received their money. October comes, who knows what will happen then. But so far, in terms of what happens, who's responsible, we still don't know, and we have no answers about that, Dumelo, unfortunately.
We'll have to, of course, continue keeping a close eye on this matter, and we'll continue updating our viewers until everyone else is paid, or at least there's some clarity in as far as who's then going to take accountability for what has happened. But thank you so much, eNCA reporter Hloni Mtimkulu.